my friends, welcome back to another video. Welcome to my master bedroom makeover. I have waited a long time for this video and I am so excited to share it with you. This has been a process, a long time in coming. I'm showing you the shots of my room before, so if you've been with me, you know that we switched bedrooms with our son. So this is our old bedroom, which is now currently our son's room, and we are going to take his old room. So I just wanted to show you what my bedroom looked like before we redid it. So this is the old way that it looked. We had some old carpet. We had to rip that out. Make sure that you come back. Those videos of my son's room redo will be forthcoming, and it looks equally as great as our room. So make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss that makeover. But this is the way that our bedroom has looked for the last 10 years, and it is time for an update for sure. So this is the new bedroom that we will be moving into. This is our son's room. This is what it looked like with his things. Basically, these rooms are just the opposite of each other. They're about 12 by 12 with a closet in each of them that takes up some of that square footage. But his room is a pale blue color, and that's the same color we painted his new room. But for us, we're going to repaint the walls. I did keep the accent wall, which I'll show you a little bit more in a minute. It's a faux barnwood look, and I do have a video where I made that. I just painted that, and then I have since whitewashed it multiple times just to get it to be the right shade that I want it to be. So it's super easy. It's just a little time consuming, but I will link that video down below. So this is some of the furniture that I'm going to be painting. This was an old nightstand. This is this dresser's over 100 years old. We got it when he was born, used it for him since he was born, and it was also his changing table. And this is my husband's old dresser. We had two of these. I had a big one with a mirror, but I'm actually getting rid of that one because I don't need that much space anymore. So I decided to just use his and Jackson's, and then Jackson got some new dressers. And I picked up some of this Krylon chalky spray paint, and it's kind of like the light gray and the medium gray. And then, of course, I have my handy dandy spray paint gun. I would highly recommend using one of these if you have a lot to spray paint. And this day, I had a lot to spray paint. It was kind of the only day of the week that it wasn't like unbearably cold. So I had to get everything out this day and paint it in between snowstorms, kind of. So I had been looking for another nightstand to sort of match the one that we had, or I was going to have to buy new ones, but I really didn't want to. So my brother Patrick had this extra nightstand I was able to buy from him, and then I used Jackson's old nightstand, which was actually one that my sister found that someone was throwing away. And they don't match, but I figured painting them the same color would kind of make them cohesive. And I did the same thing with the bigger dressers. I just painted them in the darker gray, and just even though they don't match, it kind of makes them match. And then Jackson got a dresser nightstand set from a friend of ours that didn't need it anymore, so we were able to use these for ours. So after all the spray paint had dried, I just put a coating of this chalk. It's kind of like just a chalk paint, a coating I put over the top of all the dressers just to give them like a protective coating, kind of like a polyacrylic. So this is what the room looks like with all of Jackson's stuff moved out. We had been sleeping on our mattress on the floor for a while, for a couple nights while we were getting everything ready. But I wanted to show you this is the wood wall. So if you're interested in that, it's super easy, and I think it looks like wood planks or wallpaper, and I love it. And this is the paint that I chose. I got it at Lowe's. It's the Valspar Satin. I will say this was the most expensive paint I've ever bought. It was only because it was all they had, but it was around $45. The color I chose is Sky House, and it's a Valspar color, and it is so beautiful. It's more of a green than the walls are now. They're more of a blue, so when I'm painting, it's kind of hard to tell the difference, but when it dried, it was definitely noticeable. But it's just a beautiful pale green, and to me, to have the dark floors, I wanted to make sure that everything else was kind of light with a few dark, accents. I didn't want everything to be dark. I wanted a light and airy feel in the room. So I'm going to go ahead and paint. I don't use tape. I don't tape off. I just use an angled brush, and I just take my time along the edges, and it actually looks totally fine. You'll see in a minute I did make a mistake, and I just have a wet paper towel or a baby wipe with me, and I can just wipe it off when it's wet, and that way it doesn't dry, and it looks beautiful just as if I had taped it. So I will do all the edging, and then I'll go back in and do the rolling. And when I do the rolling, I put cardboard underneath it, because when you roll with paint, it will splatter. There'll be little splatters all over your floor if you don't put something down to protect it. So like I was saying, I know it's kind of hard to see the difference, but it is definitely more green than the blue on the walls, and it's beautiful. It's very similar to the icy teal color that I have throughout my house. My front door is this color, my kitchen island, some other doors and walls, and it's definitely my new favorite color. So I'll link my son's bedroom makeover video before, when we actually redid this room for him not long ago. We put new flooring, and I made these doors. I actually picked up some old closet doors, just plain white, from the Restore, and I painted them to look like barnwood. So I'll link that video down below if you're interested in seeing how I did that. And I plan on doing it again for his new bedroom, because we don't have doors on that closet either. We just have a curtain. So if I can find another set, I plan on doing the same thing in the new room. So now the paint is drying. I think it's so pretty. It's exactly what I envisioned, and everything looks so clean and fresh when you put a new coat of paint on. It's the easiest and cheapest way to change the look of an entire room. So after we painted and the paint was dry, I was able to kind of like move everything to one side, and then I just swept really good and mopped the floor. And once that dried, we could actually start moving things in. So while I'm doing this voiceover, I have two of my cats right here trying to get my attention. So if you hear purring or anything, it's just the cats. But as you can see in my videos, there's lots of animals everywhere, so they're always trying to help. So this is the bed that I chose. I got it on Amazon. I will link it down below. I'll link anything I'm able to down below. But it was around $115, and then there was a $10 off coupon, but you did have to pay $40 for shipping. So all in all, I paid $145. And I love it. I have wanted a bed like this for so many years, I can't even tell you. And so it's actually the first bed that Marion and I have ever purchased. We were given beds before, and we've had a new mattress, but never a new bed. So this is exciting. And I loved that I didn't need a box spring, so I could get rid of my old box spring and just put the mattress on, and it's definitely high enough. Marion keeps commenting he feels like it's a hotel room, which I love that he says that. So I got this magic skirt from Target, and it says it's the easiest bed skirt you've ever used, but in my opinion, it's the most complicated. So I would not recommend this if you don't have a box spring, because I think that's what kind of holds it together. But I think I figured out a way to make it stay by going underneath my bed and pinning it really well, and so that's my plan. I have pinned it some, but I was laying in bed the other night trying to figure out how to make it stay, and I think I've figured it out. But basically the idea is you don't have the whole bed skirt. You can just tuck it in along the sides, and then you can make it as high or low as you want. And the reason I got this one is because it's a 15-inch, and I need that 15 inches. I don't want a regular 12-inch. It wouldn't be long enough, and I kind of like the look of being billowy and flowy at the bottom. It's kind of like a shabby chic cottage look, and I'm really drawn to that, so that's why I kept it and dealt with it, even though it was kind of a pain. And it was a little expensive. I think I paid $28 for this bed skirt, which is more than I've ever paid, but I'll try, and if I can find it, I'll link it down below. But like I said, if you don't have a box spring, it is kind of difficult. And then I got this beautiful rug off of Amazon. I definitely went back and forth trying to find the right rug, but this one really was the one I settled on. I really loved that it had kind of like a edging around it, and I liked that it was some dark grays and some light grays and some whites, and with the dark floors I wanted something light to brighten it up. And then it had really good reviews. It was a really good price. I'll link it in the description box. And so far I really love it. It's a 5x7, but it's a little bit bigger. I think it's like 5.3 by 7.6, and it fits the size of our room perfectly, and it just kind of like makes it warmer on the floor when you get out of bed, you know, to step on a warm rug. So I definitely give this rug 5 stars. Now, instead of getting all new bedding, I had this old white comforter that I've had used for years, and I've been storing it in my basement, so I took it to the laundromat and gave it a nice refresh. And then I just decided to buy a duvet, and duvets are really great because you can throw them in the washing machine. You don't have to go take the whole thing to the laundromat. You just take the duvet off, and you can also change up a space for less money than having to buy an entire new set. And they're actually not that difficult to put on. I think they call this the burrito style, I don't know, but you turn it inside out and lay it on top of your comforter, and then you just tie the corners in, and then you kind of fold it inside out, and it works beautifully. And I've had duvets before, and I love the convenience of just taking them off, because as you can see, we have animals and they think this is their bed. So there's always an animal sleeping in my bed, and at night there's several animals. So I don't need a big comforter that I have to take to the laundromat all the time. It's just so much easier to have a duvet. So this one is linked down below. It was around $50, and it's a gray and white ticking stripe, which was exactly what I was wanting. I love the look of it. It's pale. It's like the pastel colors, but I just think it's so pretty with the contrasting black bed. I wanted to have some contrasting black pieces along with all the pastels, and obviously you can see Clyde loved it as well. In fact, unfortunately, Clyde did rip 2 little holes in this day. He just got so excited. He clearly had to help me make the bed. If you know Clyde, you know he's always in my business and always helps me make the beds. He's such a cutie, but such a little stinker too. He knows how cute he is, and he knows that I can't fuss at him. The duvet came with 2 pillowcases, and then I just bought 2 white pillowcases at Walmart. And then these were the pillows I had been using on my couch, but I decided to put them on my bed. They came from Walmart as well. And then the blue pillow came from the at-home store, I believe, a while back. And I'll link those plaid pillows down below if you are interested. They are the Better Homes and Gardens, and they kind of match the darker gray color that I painted my dressers, so I thought it kind of pulled all that together, and so I loved the way it looked. So for my curtains, I just bought a full-size flat sheet from Walmart. This is around $10, and I just cut it right up the middle, and I used my sewing machine to sew a seam on each side, and then I hemmed the bottom to be the right length because they are pretty long, and I didn't need it as long as it was. And it was a super simple curtain for less money than if I had gone out and bought 2 white panels. So this is a little DIY that I did. I took this apple barrel melted chocolate paint, this dark brown color, and I watered it down a little bit, and I painted a shelf. I didn't have any stain, and if you don't have stain, you can actually paint your wood. Just water the paint down and choose the color that you want, and it kind of looks like I stained it. This was a shelf that my daughter had in her room, but she had actually stained it a super light color, and I wanted a darker, warmer color, so I just painted it, and it turned out perfectly. She had some gold brackets to hold it up, and I painted them black, so it kind of matches the shelf that I have over my television. And I put this, or I had my husband put this above our bed, and it's probably, besides my bed, it's my favorite part of the room. I'll show you how I decorated it in just a second. So if you've been with me, you know that I love to decorate with family photos. It's my favorite thing to decorate with, and we have so many of our children all over the house, but I really wanted some pictures of Marion and I for our bedroom, so I actually got my son Jackson, he's 13, to take some pictures of us the other day, and I really wanted to blow one of them up and put it on the shelf. So this is my favorite one that he took, and so I blew it up into 11 by 14 and got a frame at Hobby Lobby, and I love it, and I kind of wanted that to be the focal point on the shelf. But then these are a couple of the other ones that he took that I really loved, and I decided to frame them as well and just put them around the room because this is our room and there's not enough pictures of Marion and I around our house, so I thought just in our room it's just going to be about us. I couldn't wait for Marion to get this shelf up so I could decorate. I had so many ideas in my mind, and so this was really fun to me to decorate this, and I can change it up too. That was a star that I had in Jackson's room when this was his room, and so I decided to reuse it. It matches those checkered pillows on my bed too. And then I like the black frames, just kind of ties it into the bed. And so I was just putting pictures and plants and all the fun little things. This was a plant I got from At Home. If you've been with me, you know that's my favorite little faux plant. And so this was really fun. I think I can like decorate it for Christmas and different holidays and things, but for now I really love the way that it turned out. So now the lighting, this is the light that we actually put in this room when we redid Jackson's room, but we're going to move this light into his new room. And then I purchased a beautiful chandelier off of Amazon, which I'll show you in just a second, but I will link it down below. It was so beautiful. I'm so thankful that Marion is able to do these kinds of things for me. It was kind of an ordeal because it's a much heavier light than that one, but we had old ceiling fans in these rooms and it was time for them to go, and this chandelier just finishes off the room. It is beautiful. It's a shabby chic look. It's got the weathered wood and it's light and bright, and I think it is beautiful. I hope that you agree with me. I searched high and low for the right one, and this was the one I settled on. It wasn't too big, it wasn't too small. We did have to buy a different light bulb because it didn't give enough light. It's lower obviously than being on the ceiling, so we needed to have a brighter light bulb, but it's so beautiful. I definitely made the right choice, and I really searched a long time to find the right one. I'm very happy with this one, and like I said, it will be linked down below. I think it was around $73. And now I'm just gonna sort of set things out. This is an old frame that I had, and I just hang my necklaces on it. This, I gotta admit, isn't my favorite part of my room, but I don't have a vanity or a place to get ready, so this is where I store all my body sprays, which clearly I have way too many of these. I did get rid of some, but I still have way too many, and just my jewelry box and all my hair things, and I have to put it here because I don't have a separate space for this because we do have a small house, but it's okay. As long as I keep it neat and clean, I feel like it's not going to bother me. So I got a couple of these lamps on Amazon as well. It was $80 for the set, and I loved them because the black would tie in with the bed. I also love kind of like the traditional style of it, and I loved the crisp white lampshade. Some of the lamps had more of a yellowy lampshade, and I really loved that these were white, and I loved the black contrasting with the gray nightstand. I thought that would be a beautiful look. And also the lamps have USB ports built in, so that's super convenient, and definitely my husband was happy about that. So this is a look at one of the nightstands with the lamp, and then of course I have a matching one on my side, and we've never really had a nice set of lamps either. I bought some at Ollie's years ago. They were way too small. That's what we've been using, but these are like real grown-up lamps, and I love them. So you may have seen in the shots already, I do have this big mirror in the corner. It's from the brand Empty Spaces, and I got it at HomeGoods, so I don't think I can link it. I will try and find it if I can. It was $60 at HomeGoods, and it has an easel back, so it's easy to stand up. You don't have to lean it against the wall, so I really liked that. And I liked that it wasn't huge. I wanted one of those huge mirrors you could set on the floor, but the reality is I just don't have the room in this room, so this was kind of like the middle size. It's not one of the small ones like I've had for years, but it wasn't a giant one either, so it was the perfect size. And the brown edge on it, the frame kind of matches my closet doors, so I liked that too. So now I'm just gonna vacuum, clean everything up really good, and then I will show you the grand reveal. So before I show you the reveal, I did want to show you inside the closet, and those videos will be forthcoming about showing you how I decluttered this crazy closet. This was Jackson's old closet, obviously, and we switched closets. We successfully switched rooms and closets, and it was quite an ordeal. So in my next couple videos, you'll see the process of doing that, but I wanted to show you that this is our closet now. It is clean, it's organized. It is still bright green. One day I will probably get to painting that a different color. We do have a back closet in there. It's a long story, but we just use that for extra storage. But I love the way that it's clean and organized and clutter free. All right, here is the reveal. What a transformation from before. What a transformation. This is literally exactly what I envisioned in my mind, and it's so fun to have a vision and have it come to life exactly the way that you planned it. I searched high and low for the right bed, the right bedding, the right chandelier, everything, and in my mind I knew it was going to look pretty, but until it was to get all together, I just, I didn't have the complete picture, but now it's everything I wanted. I finally feel like we have a grown-up bedroom, and it's so nice. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that it inspires you or gives you some kind of, inspiration to redo your space, or if you're doubting if what you're wanting is going to work, just go with what you envision in your mind, and don't be afraid. Paint is easy to change if it doesn't work out. Shelves are great ways to add decor. I have shelves all over my house. They're super inexpensive and a great way to not clutter up a whole wall, but put everything together in one space. And just don't be afraid. I encourage you not to be afraid. It's so fun to change up a room, and it's really not that expensive. I always try to do my decorating projects on a budget. So if you like this kind of video, make sure to subscribe, because I will be doing more. Like I said, my son's room, that is coming up, and we're going to be doing some things in our basement. We've got a lot of fun projects to do. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you do like these kind of videos. It really helps with the algorithm. So I'm going to leave you now with a few shots of the room with the lamps on when everything is lit up and bright. It's so beautiful and so airy. I love it. So I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. You know I love you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.